Good morning. Today we're talking about Chapter 9, Section 3, City Governments. As you can recall from earlier in the week, we discussed towns, townships, and villages. Those forms of local government are smaller than city government. City government is the largest type of local government. It can range from many different sizes. You can have a small city like Dade City, or a large city like Los Angeles or New York City. New York has over 10,000 employees working for its sanitation department alone. And Los Angeles has over 12,500 employees working for its fire department. So as you can see, cities can range in all different types of sizes. Each city has a different type of government set up to meet the needs of the people living in that city. But first, let's discuss the lesson essential questions. The lesson essential questions for this unit that you'll need to keep in mind throughout the discussion is, 1, how are city governments organized under the home rule system? And 2, what are the different forms of city government? Okay, when discussing cities, there are a few things you need to keep in mind. 1, remember, cities are larger than other local governments. So they're not going to be the same size as a town like out in St. Leo. It's going to be at least the size of Dade City or larger. They often have a large population crowded into a small area, like when you get down to the city of Tampa, city of Miami, city of New York, Jacksonville, to name a few in the area, and some that you would know. They must deal with education, health, safety, transportation, sanitation, water supply, and police protection for all the people living in that city. If you look over here to the picture I have up on the side, you can see this is a city in Pennsylvania. As you can see, it's a small city with a nice rural background seen back behind the city, compared to the city down here on the bottom, New York, which is extremely large. So keep in mind the fact that cities can be in many different sizes when we're going through this unit and talking about the different forms of government governing your local cities. And remember, not every city is going to be like Dade City. Some can be more like Tampa, some can be more like New York. So keep that in mind as we go through the unit. Before we discuss the different forms of local government for your cities, you need to figure out where do they get their power from. When a city decides to be made in an area, they get their power from the state. The state will send them a charter and the authority to govern the people in that local area. That is the traditional way that it was always done. And increasingly in popularity, they have come up with the home rule system. Home rule, it's kind of like it sounds like in sports. You have the home field advantage, the home rule advantage. Home rule means they're giving the governing body over the city the authority to make and amend their own charters, and in order to pass their own laws without having to get approval every time from the state. This could be something like when they want to put up a new traffic light, or they want to build a new road redirecting traffic through an area, or they need to put up a street sign. Instead of getting the state's permission, under the home rule way of doing things, the state just gives them the permission to automatically do the little things that is best for the people in their community and gives them more power because they live there, they understand what the people need, give them the authority to make sure the people are getting what they're paying for. One thing you need to remember with this unit is there are 4 different types of city government. 2 of them will fall under the mayor-council plan. The mayor-council plan is set up in one of 2 ways. You have a weak mayor. In a weak mayor system, the mayor has equal voting power to the city council. Now remember, the mayor is the executive branch. The city council is the legislative branch. By having equal power, it means the mayor is not able to override decisions by the city council. A weak mayor's vote could be used as a tiebreaker if everyone on the city council votes and it comes to a tie. Some cities have it set up where the tiebreaker goes to the mayor. In a strong mayor system, the mayor has the power to veto the decisions of the city council. Just like in the national level, the president can veto the Congress. At the lower level, on the legislative branch, the city council can be vetoed by the executive branch, which is the mayor. A strong mayor also has the power to appoint city officials who are going to run the city, and has the power over the city budget and making sure that everything is appropriately paid for and the needs of the people are being met. The third form we are going to discuss for city government is the commission form. The commission form, the commission is actually the executive and the legislative branch. Each commissioner on the board is in charge of a different department and running that department for the city. The mayor's vote is usually equal to the votes of one of the commissioners. In the council manager form, the fourth type, the city manager is actually given his job or her job by the city council. That means the city council is elected to be the legislative branch, elected by the people. And then they appoint the position for their executive, which is known as the city manager, who manages the city and runs the departments. We covered all the material for the unit. Let's go back and discuss the less than essential questions. Less than essential question 1. How are city governments organized under the home rule system? As you can recall, remember the traditional system is when the state gives the city their charter and has to have state legislature to approve any changes. Under the home rule system, the state gives them permission to create their own charter and manage their own affairs within their small city. Less than essential question 2, what are the different forms of city government? Remember, you have two mayor-council forms, one a strong mayor and one a weak mayor. Then you have a commission and you have a council manager form. If you need more information on these different forms, rewind through the video and re-listen to what I have said earlier.